Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Here's the headline from WJW. Retired FBI agent says Oswald didn't kill Kennedy. And they go on to say it's a lot more than conspiracy theories. It's documented fact. I mean, this is the police surveillance recordings, the informants, the feds. So you got the good ground floor FBI people and police and others trying to stop this. But up high, they block the investigation. They cover it up. And that was my next question. I had read that you had said that once you got into the archives, decades after, when they finally released this stuff, that your own FBI reports had been doctored.
What happened, my report doesn't exist. I mean, they eliminated the total report that I wrote up, and my partner, Royal McGraw, and a supervisor by the name of Charles Harding up in Atlanta, Georgia, they wrote two reports. One written by McGraw and one written by Charles Harding. And they took the material of all the people that I contacted and interviewed trying to locate Miltier and doing a full background on him, education-wise and where he worked and all the stuff that we had acquired in that. All of that was in their reports. The only thing that was in that report that had anything to do with Don Adams was that one sheet of paper of my interview of Miltier.
Well, sir, isn't the evidence of the cover-up, I mean, just more proof? I mean, look at how many people that witnessed the shooters on the grassy knoll, the green pickup truck. How many of them were murdered, killed, disappeared?
Over 300. I mean, there's been a novel written about and discussing solely the people that were involved in the Kennedy assassination, and they say that number is over 300 people now. And I just want to mention one thing that I don't want to forget to tell you, is that when I saw the Zapruder film, and I made that comment, hell, he wasn't shot from the back, he was shot from the front when he put his hands up to his throat in that. Dr. Charles Crenshaw, who worked in trauma room 1 at Dallas Parkland Hospital, and that, as soon as he looked at the president, he said, hell, he's been shot in the throat, he's got a bullet hole here. And then later on, they had to do a trach cut on him to open up his throat to put a tracheotomy in him. But he saw the bullet hole right away. There was no exit wound in the back. Then they found where the bullet had gone through the windshield of the limousine, and apparently that slowed down the projectile so it didn't go all the way through him, and it went into his throat and then stayed in his body.
Yeah, that was in the original medical report, and then they had his brain at the National Archives, and then it disappeared.
It disappeared, right.
In closing, sir, and I want to have you back up in the next month for a full hour with your great breadth of knowledge. We appreciate your patriotism, your love of the truth, and your courage. Knowing how many people they've murdered, do you ever get threatened? Or are you concerned that you're now really going public?
No, I'm going to tell you something, Alex. I've always said this. The good Lord picked me for this assignment, whatever it was. I mean, whatever it is. And if he decides he's going to call me, I'm going to go the way he wants, and I don't worry about that stuff.
And I would imagine you really learned that when you were in Korea.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I saw a lot there, and it was a heavy year. Went all the way to the Yellow River up to China. And it was an experience I never forgot, but it's something that taught me a great deal about life and how important life is.
You know who else was on the Yalu River but fighting the Japanese during World War II? E. Howard Hunt as a sniper.
Wow. Yeah, see, let me tell you something, Alex, so that you're aware of how I work in that. When I get to concentrating on my work in that, I don't dwell off into a lot of other people's work, because you could just go in forever and not really get the story. So I'm really concentrating to make the people aware of who Joseph Adams Miltier is. And that...
No, I agree with you, because your area of the investigation is conclusive. I mean, it's amazing. The website is adamsjfk.com. And let me say bye to you during the break. I look forward to setting you up for a full hour in the next month. In fact, we'll try to set that up with you right now, sir. Everybody check out his website. He's got some very informative DVDs with his testimony that's an important part of a historical record.
The question is, where should the American people draw their line in the sand?
What have we got? A republic or a monarchy?
A republic is based on a constitution which protects minority rights.
Not democracy, not mob rule, two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner.
So they think they own our land, they think they own our water, children, our education, our money.
We have to define who we are and what we will tolerate.
Somebody's going to ask you what you did during the Patriot Uprising.
You have been warned.
We have the facts. We have the Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have common law. Knowledge is power, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so excited to be able to offer you Don't Tread on Me, Rise of the Republic. Tyranny is upon us, but liberty and the sleeping giant that is the American people is rising. A new tool in the info war. Don't Tread on Me. Order it at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139 and support independent, patriotic Liberty films. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used Pure Soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Was an incredible interview with that retired FBI agent. Just amazing, Don Adams. We're going to be having him back up for a full hour coming up in a few weeks. Incredible information. I mean, they had the police, they had the FBI, the recordings of him saying we're going to kill JFK in Dallas in his motorcade. Then he gets back days after and tells the informant, I told you we were going to kill him. I mean, this is amazing. We have the audio tape. We have E. Howard Hunt, the former Black Op commander who ran assassinations worldwide on record, saying they planned it in Florida, in Miami. I mean, it just goes on and on and on how open and shut this situation is. And he's shot in the throat. The Dallas doctors say he had a bullet in his throat. They were told to change it, but they refused and kept a copy. This is the type of incredible information going on. Now, shifting gears. At the start of the broadcast today, I covered Fox News, AP, you name it, survivor details massacre of 72 migrants by drug cartel in Mexico. And he escaped. He says Los Zetas, who on record was trained by the CIA to go after the other drug cartels that they don't control. They work for the Mexican government. He is robbing and extorting and trying to force the migrants, mainly from Central and South America. That's who they killed. They don't tend to do it as, they still kill a lot of them, but not as many of their Mexican citizens. So it's a form of nationalism against Central and South American migrants. And it's all part of the North American Union. And just a whole house full of 72 butchered, chopped up bodies. And the police are pulling up in front of mayors' houses in Mexico, dragging them out, murdering them in public. And this is all pouring over. And if you read Robert Paster's own documents and his CFR plan for the North American Union that's being implemented by stealth, that's the key term, implementation by stealth, stealth integration of Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. And under this new system, we don't have our liberties and freedoms. They're rewriting it. And Judicial Watch in 2006, they sued in 2007, got the Banff Canada Security Prosperity Partnership, NAU documents, and they said, we've got to keep it secret, the official minutes. We're taken over by stealth. We're going to use border crises as a pretext to merge the countries. Just like the banks use the derivatives crisis they created to get more power and set up a Bank of the World and a new derivatives tax, a new carbon tax, a new system, a new Ponzi scheme. And so all of this integrates in and dovetails with the information that Dan Dix covers. Now, I knew he put this film out a few months ago. More than a few months ago. It had to be like 6 months ago. And I'm so busy I didn't watch it. There's so many documentary films. I've interviewed him before as an activist fighting tyranny in Canada at the G20, but I hadn't watched it. And they sent us a copy and said, we'd like you to post this for your members at prisonplanet.tv. And so and it took us about a month to get around to uploading it and all that and encoding it in the different formats. And I started watching it. It's a full-length film, and I couldn't quit. I mean, this is as high production quality as we have. Very skilled filmmakers, but it's not just that. It's who they got in the interviews that completely blew me away. So we are selling United We Fall, 3 nations, 2 sides, 1 union. Press for Truth presents a Brian Law film with Dan Dix. And Dan Dix joins us via video link from Canada. Dan, break down why you made this film and the incredible interviews you got. Because somebody like myself, and we have called Pastor, the head globalist that wrote up the specific North American integration plan, and he wouldn't be interviewed. So because you're not as well known, you were able to get these interviews where top globalists admit we want world government. I mean, this is and the interviews look like PBS or something. I mean, you guys are talented cinematographers, talented researchers, incredibly talented graphics folks, and I just want to hail you and Brian Law as amazing researchers and filmmakers.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. That means a lot to me coming from you. I really appreciate that. Thanks.
No, listen, I mean, it's no brag, just fact, as John Wayne would say. Break down why you made the film and what's in it.
Sure. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. Brian and I set out to make this film, which basically documents this push towards a North American Union, this concept of Canada, U.S., and Mexico coming together into a union, very similar to this European Union. We tracked it somewhat chronologically, going through the various trade deals throughout time, starting back as far as the general agreement on trade and tariffs. From there, we move on to the free trade agreement. Then we get, of course, into the North American Free Trade Agreement. And then after that, we touch on the Security and Prosperity Partnership and the North American Leaders Summit. And we show how these are all incremental steps which are pushing us towards this idea of a North American Union, and also how the North American Union in itself is another big step towards the even bigger picture of a global governing body. So that's what we set out to do nearly 2 years ago now. The film is 2 years in the making, and we just released it on Canada Day, actually, a few months ago. And yeah, seems to be going well.
Well, again, my film Endgame's almost 3 hours long. It covers the full spectrum of global government, spends about 35 minutes on the NAU. Your film, in a riveting, nonstop way, in their own words, you've got them admitting it. It's not just Alex Jones showing documents and voicing it. and saying, look what they said. You've actually got these people admitting it, and this is treason. This is a private corporate takeover of our governing system. It's giving corporations the power, just like we see BP, being above the states and the federal government in the Gulf. This is global corporate governance. Break down some of the people you got interviews with.